Environmental group Eco-Conscious Citizens launched the Eco-Conscious Citizens Friends of the Environment Manifesto today at Asanteson Gardens in Accra. The manifesto is aimed at prospective parliamentarians and political parties, as 2024 is an election year in Ghana. Elements of the manifesto formed part of Eco-Conscious Citizens Greening Ghana for Real petition to the government ahead of the 2023 Green Ghana Day initiative, majority of which have been endorsed by NDC, MP and Land
Ladies and
Forestry
gentlemen,
Committee
in addition to calling on the
Dr.
government
Abdul
to institute
Rashid-Pelpuo.
a public inquiry, we wish to also team up with the eco-conscious citizens of Ghana to reiterate these points, which had already been sent to government.
The Eco-Conscious Citizens Friends of the Environment Manifesto, as delivered by the environmental group's coordinator Awula Serwah, is as follows. 1. Repeal EI 144 and withdraw LI 2462 within first 6 months of administration. 2. Pause community mining and enshrine rights of communities to reject mining in their localities within first 6 months of administration. 3. Ban single-use plastics within your term. 4. Pass an executive instrument protecting wetlands and other ecological sites and prohibiting entry, for purposes inconsistent with protecting ecological sites within the first 6 months of your administration. Prohibit installation of utilities to wetlands and other ecological sites for dwelling houses and purposes inconsistent with protecting the said sites within the first 6 months. 5. Within the first year, pass a legislative instrument providing that if 3 or more noise nuisance complaints are made against an establishment, facility or individual in a residential or mixed residential area, the alleged noise maker will not be allowed to use sound amplification equipment until they can prove to the satisfaction of a court that the use of said equipment is no longer causing a nuisance. Whilst we want the politicians and political parties to sign up to our manifesto, it's up to the citizens and media to hold them to account, said Awula Serwah. If the politicians and the government find the citizens are angry enough about any aspects of the manifesto, they will take it seriously. Finally, a coalition of civil society organizations is also working on another environmental manifesto, so there will be pressure on political parties to prioritize the environment within the campaign discourse.
Our forests are our land. When is it ever in the public interest to remove parts of your lands for what? So we say within the first 6 months of the administration, repeal EI 144, which declassified parts of Achimota Forest, and LI 2462, which allows virtually unfettered access to our forest reserve. We've also said as number 2, pause community mining. You know, it's a given. Pause it. You cannot even monitor. And then give the communities, enshrine a law giving the communities the right to oppose it if they want to do so, and for that to be respected. You cannot push community mining down people's throats and have police presence and so on and so forth, because you know the community doesn't want it, but you're forcing it down their throat. We say that is a no-no. We also want a ban on single-use plastics. And I've gone on to say that lots of Africa has taken leadership, whether Malawi, Rwanda, Tanzania. They've taken leadership in banning single-use plastic. Whether plastic bags or water bottles, you don't have to have them. And we demonstrated here how every Ghanaian can have their own water bottle, whether made of glass or bamboo or whatever. Whenever there's a dispenser, you fill it. You don't need the disposable water cups that you throw away. So when we say single-use plastics, we are talking about plastics that are usually used just for one occasion, and then they are discarded into the nearest gutter. We are saying ban them. And then we're also talking about passing an executive instrument protecting our wetlands. Wetlands are important. That's why every 2nd February we have World Wetlands Day, where we look at protecting our wetlands. We have to know why we have our wetlands. Our brother Mama talked about the wetlands in Ghana, Sakumono and other places. We can't have buildings on them. And we are saying that you should enshrine a law that stops utilities from going there. Therefore, in a wetland, why is Electricity Corporation or Water Ghana Company going there? It's a wetland. It should be used for the purposes for which the good Lord created them. And then finally, we're talking about passing a legislative instrument that deals with noise pollution. Too many people suffer in silence about noise pollution, because even when they make complaints, the authorities seem to do absolutely nothing, and the noise pollution continues. So we are saying that regarding noise pollution, if there are more than 3 complaints, the establishment should be stopped from using amplifiers or the sources of the court can say that, okay, they've now proved that they can use the equipment responsibly and they are not going to cause a nuisance to their neighbors. So that's that. Noise pollution is a neglected environmental issue.